make itself known. And we've got drainage problems with this area. We've had drainage problems since the day I walked in. And most people aren't here when it's pouring water, but that water does stay around. It doesn't really drain. And we have a number of trees in the plaza that are suffering. And we have a few that are not suffering. They're thriving. But of course what they're doing is they're breaking up the concrete. They're creating tripping hazards. It's just not a workable solution. It's also a difficult space to have activities in, tents in, etc. So about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we had a design charrette, and we started working with Joel Eliason from Nim Long's office and the architect John Carraway, who worked on this part, the original part of the garden center. And we came up with a new vision for the Blunt Plaza. And this is a preliminary model. Everything on the plaza that's shown is just sort of the paving. There are no walls shown. There are no columns or plants or anything vertical, really. You're looking at a paving solution for now, and that's where we've kind of left the design for now. But a large gathering space that reconciles the entrance to the garden center, really gets you going where the entrance to the gardens ought to be, and it gives us a big, uncomplicated space to have events and activities in. So the whole function of dropping people off, getting groups oriented, getting them in the gardens, or getting them in the gift shop, or getting them in the building becomes very clear. And we worked long and hard on this, and I think this is an extraordinary solution. And can't wait till we put it in. And the water problem will be solved with this. So that goes without saying. The upper Blunt Plaza, once we get up into this area, granite garden, we love the granite garden. It's not going to move. We love it. It's a beautiful focal point. And what it needs, though, is it needs a strong backdrop. Right now it kind of gets lost in everything that's behind it. We've got an overlook near the Dunn Formal Rose Garden that obviously needs repair. Doesn't really overlook anything. We've got three very important trees. We've got a large white oak that survived a lightning strike and is still thriving. I don't want to be the one to kill it. So we're working around that. We have a sycamore tree that, as a seedling, orbited the moon. I don't want to be the one to kill that tree. It's a great story. And right over here you can see we've got a big ginkgo. So those trees were kind of workarounds, and we did work around them. So just locate yourself. Here's the Dunn Formal Rose Garden, right over here. Here's that lower part of the plaza, where the granite garden is. And so one idea is to give a hedge, strong hedge behind the granite garden for a good, uncomplicated backdrop. The overlook gets rebuilt, and there's two beautiful sets of steps that come down on either side of it. The overlook now overlooks something, some sort of new plaza that would actually be something, a space that you would walk through. You could gather here, start tours here, activities could take place there, all on the backdrop of a pavilion, which would give people a place to get out of the weather, out of the rain, out of the sun, etc. All this sets up on the axis that's through the Formal Rose Garden. So from a design standpoint, it really does respond to the formality that's there. Behind that, you have a vending area. Behind that, you have a service area in back of our mud room. If any of you have ever had a catered event here, you know that how that area fills up real quickly. So we're kind of pushing that out a little bit, making that area bigger. At the same time, if any of you have eaten in the restaurant lately, you see what having a good restaurant at a facility like this can do. It's very, very popular. We think that restaurant outdoor seating area needs to be expanded, and we've planned for that. So expanded service area here, expanded restaurant area there. Once you get beyond the steps, this all pretty much stays the same. We like what's there. We like the color that's there. We like the impact that's there. There's the moon tree. The white oak is up here. That's not going to get touched. There's the ginkgo. So I think we've really achieved it. We have eliminated some lawn space. I won't lose any sleep over that. Next, I want to move to the conservatory and maintenance facilities and our service drive. Locate yourself, see where the formal garden is. We're going to address this in two parts, actually three parts. The front of the conservatory, really the maintenance area, and then the service drive. We'll do the entrance first, just some slides of existing conditions. Obviously, everybody knows that. You see it every time you come in. Here's our water clock. Hasn't worked for over a decade. The clock part, very, very old. The gears are irreparably stripped, have been so for many years. It's probably irreparable. The water part, as you can see on the cracks on this upper area here, it's cracked all over the place. It leaks. Linda had me come down and inspect the leaks one day, and it was really scary because it was leaking right onto the electrical service that's under there. In 2002, we got an estimate to maybe just patch up the leaks, not fix the clock, but patch the leaks, $12,000. And, you know, it's not a feature that's going to continue here at the gardens. We need to do something different. The sculptures by Frank Fleming certainly are worth preserving, and they'll be preserved. The other problem we have is the paths that come around are too steep. They're not barrier-free. We have a terrace area in front of it that actually is folded. I mean, it's kinked. You can't put a stage up there. This is a natural place for concerts and other activities. The Alabama Symphony comes a couple times a year. They set up on our lawn. This would be a much better place. We can rewire it for sound and lighting and electricity. We can make it very easy to have events here. So there are some problems. Before I tell you the solution, our solution assumes a really